French President Emmanuel Macron is in the United Kingdom for a 3-day state visit. Earlier today, King Charles welcomed Macron and his wife at Windsor Castle, west of London. The visit will be a mix of pageantry and talks aimed at promoting closer ties between the two countries. Among the topics, stopping the flow of migrants crossing the English Channel, as well as plans for a security force in Ukraine once a ceasefire takes effect. Now, on Macron's agenda today was a speech at the British Parliament. The CBC's Anna Cunningham is outside the Palace of Westminster, where Macron has just finished speaking. So, Anna, what did Macron have to say in his address?
Well, Arthi, there's been a lot of talk throughout the day about this being a historic state visit for many reasons. But I think the speech that we have just been listening to from the French president may well go down in history in terms of what he had to say. Given as well, remember that the two countries, France and Britain, have had a fair amount of distance in recent years post the Brexit vote when Britain chose to leave the European Union. But there was a strong focus on the importance of democracy. Take a listen to this extract from President Macron's speech.
Of a world order based on law, justice and respect for territorial integrity. An order that is today being attacked on a daily basis as we witness direct attacks on our democracies, the return of war to our continent, the resurgence of imperial impulses, and the flouting of international rules by destabilizing powers who are attempting to divide up the world to their advantage.
Now, in terms of what else President Macron spoke about, he did address the issue of Ukraine. And I think this is interesting because particularly during uncertain times in terms of the US's stance on whether it will militarily support Ukraine, President Macron said that Britain and France have worked very hard during the past few years to stand with the Ukrainian people and to help them resist. He said, we were right and we are right. And he did add that every time Vladimir Putin's Russia advances in Ukraine, he said the threat moves closer to us all. He did go on to say that we will never accept the theory that might is right. And he spoke about the coalition of the willing, which we know Canada is a part of. He said that we will fight till the very last minute in order to get this ceasefire, in order to start the negotiations to build this robust and sustainable peace. He also spoke about Gaza, some interesting comments on that. President Macron saying that a ceasefire in Gaza is a matter of urgency. He also said that recognition of the state of Palestine is the only way to build peace in the region. And just one other point that was significant that he spoke about was about migration. President Macron saying that in an unstable world, the hope of a better life elsewhere is legitimate. But he went on to say that we can't allow our country's rules for taking people in to be flouted by criminal networks and cynically exploited. So there was certainly a lot in this speech, but I think there were a number of things that were quite significant in terms of, if you remember, there is going to be another state visit here later in the year by the US President Donald Trump. And some of the issues that President Macron spoke about could well be viewed as being quite pointed towards the US president.
And Anna, we know, of course, that this is a 3-day visit. We know that the address to British Parliament is now out of the way. What's next?
Well, tonight it is back to Windsor Castle, where the formal state dinner will be hosted by King Charles and Queen Camilla. We're expecting to hear another speech from President Macron, but also from King Charles. And tomorrow he is heading to meet the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at Downing Street for more bilateral discussions. And on Thursday, the summit will be wrapped up with, the state visit will be wrapped up with a summit. And we do expect, there are plans, we understand, to have a phone call with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. So there's certainly a lot to pack in this 3-day state visit by the French president.
Thanks for this, Anna. That is the CBC's Anna Cunningham in London.